North Africa. Another one of the fronts and theaters of the Second World War that we will be discussing today. So, what happened in North Africa? Well, it started out when the Italians in 1940 decided to join the Second World War. One of their first moves was to launch an assault with 100,000 men against 10,000 British troopers. Actually, I would think it was 40,000. It was a smaller number. They begin their advance into Egypt via Libya, but then immediately get surrounded and destroyed by the British and get made fun of incredibly. So Mussolini goes crying to Mr. Adolf and is like, I need you to send me troops. And he goes, okay, I'll send you a tank. Something like a tank division and a motorized division called the Afrika Korps under my best general, Rommel. And they proceed down and they show up in Tripoli, and their orders are to not advance. But the British find these codes, and they go, okay, he's not going to advance. Rommel goes, I'm going to advance. And so he advances, catches the British off guard, and proceeds to surround and destroy them, and advance through Libya, past Tripoli, and past Benghazi, and up near Tobruk and Sirencia, the hump of Libya. But he's unable to capture the major supply post of Tobruk, and so he has to surround it, and he ends up laying siege there for a while. So he just hangs out there for a while, and the British launch an operation to go liberate the thing called what was it? I forget the name, but it was I forget the name. It was one of the operations they launched. It worked. It worked initially. Was okay at the beginning. But eventually, Rommel surrounds the forces and destroys them and totally crushes this offensive action. And Tobruk is under siege again. Eventually, of course, Rommel does actually breach and take Tobruk. He then launches an offensive further and further past British lines until he gets to a town called El Alamein. But this time he can't outflank the British because there's a giant sand depression and all his tanks would sink into the sand. So you got a battle of attrition. Of course, Churchill had sacked 3 different army commanders at this point and had appointed a general by the name of Bernard Montgomery as the commander. Now, Montgomery decided that, hey, I'm going to make this a battle of attrition. So he puts a bunch of defenses, Rommel puts a bunch of defenses, and they end up going into a huge battle of the wits. They get in there, and it's extremely heavy casualties. The only reason the British actually won the battle is because they could actually take the casualties. They both took about the same amount of casualties. Rommel couldn't handle the casualties. He was limited with supplies, being stuck in Africa. Well, the British had lots of supplies, and so Rommel loses supplies and is forced to retreat. At this time, Rommel actually gets sick and has to go to Italy for like a holiday to get better. So other generals result in most of his armored corps getting destroyed. American Operation Torch happens. They land in Morocco and Algeria, and he's forced into Tunisia. So at this point, Rommel doesn't get that command back. Instead, he goes to the West Wall and then starts improving the defenses. And no, not the West Wall, the Atlantic Wall. Has to start improving defenses there. So Rommel is just hanging out there. Meanwhile, the Afrika Korps gets destroyed. One of the last major German battles that I actually won there was the Battle of Kesselring Pass, where they managed to surround American troops as they advanced and just totally destroy them. Of course, at this time, they continue to advance into Tunisia against the unorganized, well, not really unorganized, but unsupplied German troops that are running out of supplies. They eventually take all ports and force them to surrender, destroying this entire German, like the small German and large Italian army that had been holed up there. And that ends the African front. Of course, one of the major things of the African front was an attempt to secure the Suez Canal, therefore cutting off British supplies, making them go about the Cape of, the Horn of Africa, which would have taken a very long time. Of course, that failed, and so that really, around the same time that El Alamein was lost, Stalingrad was lost. So both those two battles really messed up the German war machine and really kind of put them on their back foot. Of course, they would eventually lose the Battle of Kursk as well, and that was really the beginning of the end for the Germans. So that's what that was the African front in a nutshell. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment back down below. Sorry I have not been uploading. More uploads coming out soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.